We're talking about fish oil, the power of fish oil, but more importantly, how to use it properly. You probably had a recommendation from your doctor, you've read about it, you heard from a friend, hey, taking fish oil is good for your brain and it's good for your heart, right? But here's the thing, you've never been taught how to use it properly. Now you're probably saying, hey, don't I just take this pill, put it in the chute and then chase it with water? Isn't that all I do? Well, that's only one part, all right? We're gonna get deeper today. What I want you to understand is the whole picture. Understanding that picture will help you to get the benefits of fish oil. It will damn near stamp out inflammation. It will make your cardiovascular system damn near bulletproof by taking this stuff, but you have to do it the right way. We ready to get started? All right, let's go. I need to spend a few minutes going over an education about fats so that this whole thing makes sense to you, okay? Within our body, we've got plenty of fats that we need to consume. For the purposes of this video, we're gonna talk about two types, omega-6 fats and omega-3 fats, okay? For our bodies to work properly, and the way this thing was designed is we want 2 omega-6 fats for every 1 omega-3 fat. That's our body working in the proper ratio. When we get outside of that, that's when disease happens. When we get severely outside of that, that's when all the known killers of human beings happen. Heart disease, diabetes, strokes, cancer, Alzheimer's. Basically everything that kills humans happens when we're way out of those ratios. Most people walking around are at 25 omega-6 fats to 1 omega-3 fat. This conversation about fats is gonna make a lot of sense as we wrap this whole thing up. Basically, most human beings are way the hell up here and on omega-6 and way down here on omega-3 fats. We need to get this ratio more like this. That's where we're gonna be healthy. That's where we're gonna be a fat burning machine, and we're gonna avoid disease. Why are we so out of balance? Where are we getting all these omega-6? 70 to 90% of all the food that we eat comes from seeds and grains. So think about everything that comes in a box, that comes in a wrapper, that comes pre-packaged, right? So we're talking about cooking oil and your chips and bread, and we're talking about salad dressing. All of these things are high in omega-6 fats, right? I damn near named off a lot of things that you probably consume on a daily basis. From a food manufacturer's point of view, why so much in the way of producing omega-6 fats when we know we need this healthy ratio? Why are food manufacturers putting all of their resource and efforts into these seeds and grains, right? Seeds and grains. Because these are shelf stable. You make products out of this, they last a long time on the shelf. Think about it, if you're a food manufacturer, your number one goal, profits. And if it's profits, then you need things that don't go bad really fast, they can stay on the shelf, and the input costs are dirt cheap. What happens is the government, and especially in the Western world, subsidizes the cost of grains. So they pay farmers to overproduce the stuff, feed those to animals, and we put those things into our packaged goods. Now, if you contrast that to more of what we need like this doesn't last as long, right? Ideally, this will probably last about a week, and then it's gonna spoil and it's gonna go bad. So if you're a food manufacturer, you're gonna put all your resources in the grains because they last a long time, and not so much into the vegetables because then they spoil really fast. The reason why something like this, like a vegetable, spoils so fast is because this is made up of a lot of omega-3 fats, right? Versus something like grains. These things are made up mostly of omega-6 fats, and they're very stable, right? They do last quite a long time. We talked about a lot of how grains and seeds are put into packaged products, but also grains and seeds are used in the animals that we eat. Most cows are actually, unless it's grass-fed, is actually eating grains like corn and soy. And what that does is it fattens the cow up, they grow much faster, and they get really fat, but they also get really sick. So when cows eat these grains, their meat is super high in omega-6 fats and very low in omega-3 fats. That ratio is way out of balance, and they get really sick. So farmers will give them antibiotics and hormones counteract this getting sick, because they live in close proximity to each other, and what happens if one of them gets sick, the other ones are going to get sick, and you want to prevent that, so they give them antibiotics and hormones, things that we don't want inside of our body. When we consume those type of animals, then we are gonna have high amounts of omega-6, low amounts of omega-3. That's why our ratios get way out of balance. We're also given the recommendation that what? We should be eating fish because it has high omega-3s. Not always the case though. If you consume fish mainly in the form of farm-raised fish, it is also being fed the same way. Farm-raised fish is basically just a big-ass fish tank, and they feed them soy and corn pellets. Same thing happens. High omega-6, low omega-3s, and you're gonna get antibiotics and hormones inside of those fish as well. Nasty stuff, bad for your body. Contrast that with how cows are supposed to eat off of grass. The grass has the omega-3 fats, the cows eat the grass, now they have the omega-3s, and we consume the milk and the meat, and we get the high amounts of omega-3 fats in the proper ratios, right? So that makes our life healthier. So same thing with salmon. What you wanna do is you want wild caught salmon, all right? The package will definitely say wild caught salmon, because that's gonna be where salmon's actually eating their natural diet, and they're gonna have the proper ratios of fat. That goodness transfers into your body as well. So going over that background has given us a path of knowledge to move forward, and this will make a lot of sense going forward, okay? So what are the steps that we need to do to make this thing work really well? To get our bodies back into proper alignment, to get our body's health on track, what do we need to do? Well, first thing we need to do is we need to avoid the fake foods, heavily processed foods, because those are gonna be super high in omega-6 fats. Basically everything that's packaged and wrapped up, that's gonna be high in omega-6 fats, okay? Number 2, stop cooking with vegetable oil. Vegetable oil high in omega-6 fats. Really what you wanna do, ideally, is just stop cooking with oil, period. Cooking with oil is not great for this body. Oh, I know you're saying, dude, I'm gonna cook with oil. What should I get? What kind? The better kind to get are things that handle heat better, and those would be like coconut oil or lard, cooking lightly like with butter, not at super high temperatures. Those would be more ideal if you go that route, okay? But you could easily cook in water. You could boil, you could also bake, or if you're gonna cook it on a pan, you could use water, or you could also grill too. Those are other good options where you can avoid the oil. Adds a lot more calories. It also ages your body prematurely. So ideally you stay away from that. Number 3, kind of what we just talked about, stay the hell away from fried foods. These things will age you rapidly. They cause a lot of oxidation in the body, damage, right? And it's tough for your body to recover from this. This is gonna take away your energy. It's gonna damage your mitochondria, which is the battery inside your body, and it's gonna accelerate your aging. You're gonna look freaking old, and you're gonna get weak. And the other thing here is it makes you fat. High amounts of inflammation. As it pertains to this video, super high in omega-6 fats, and very low to none omega-3 fats, okay? All right, so I can't just have a video where we're talking about, hey, what not to do. We need to talk about what we should do as well, and that is load up on foods that are higher in omega-3 fats. So that's gonna be what? Wild-caught salmon, that's gonna be sardines, that's gonna be grass-fed beef, lamb, bison, wild game. That's also gonna be eggs from chickens that have been running around in pasture eating bugs and eating bugs, and then also eating vegetables. That's also going to include butter from grass-fed cows. It's also going to include raw milk from grass-fed cows. And we also want to be super high on green vegetables. I mean, it's going to be the star of the show. To have a healthy body, you want to have lots and lots and lots of green vegetables. Leafy greens, also cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower and asparagus and cabbage. You'll also want to have sulfur foods like onions and garlic. All right, let's get back to this. So your doctor told you, hey, you need fish oil in your life, right? But they didn't tell you you need to do all of those things to reduce omega-6 fats, because here's the problem. Super high in omega-6, you take this capsule of fish oil, this is only 1 gram, all right? Basically, it's gonna maybe move the needle slightly, basically do nothing, right? You waste your money. So we need to do both things. Now you can see the whole picture. If we reduce this omega-6 content, and then we eat these higher omega-3 fats, and on top of that, we take in fish oil, now it moves the needle and we get to the proper ratio. That makes a lot more sense, right? Come on, that makes a lot more sense. You get a lot out of this thing right here. You know, you're probably saying to yourself, I want to get healthier. I need more information to help me do that. So take away the content from this video and start applying that to your life. Now, some people are gonna go gung-ho and they're gonna throw away all that crap in their house and they're gonna bring in the good stuff, and that's a great start. Some other people are gonna kind of tiptoe their way in, but here's the thing, it will never work unless you do all the steps. You could see how if you do just the fish oil, like, oh, I feel good because I did the fish oil, my doctor told me to do that. Well, it's not gonna be effective, and you're gonna say, well, it doesn't work. I'm not feeling any effects because your ratio is way out of balance, right? So we gotta get it back. I'm with you, my friends. I'm on this journey just like you are. I've been super unhealthy, got my way back to health, and that's why I'm making the video. So leave me a comment below, tell me what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. Thumbs up, and then if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. So many more videos on the way. If there's something that you wanna see, leave me a comment below and I'll make it, all right? Have a great day. James Lee, Chasing My Best. I'm on Instagram. Just look Chasing My Best. Also, yeah, basically Instagram, mostly on there. All right.